Let's head now to Brian, who's with Frank Luntz.
All right, thanks, Gretch. Both the Romney campaign and the Obama campaign have been in a recent ad war over whether or not the president ended the work requirement for welfare and welfare reform that made so much, it was so successful and put into play in 1996. Here to show us how the two campaigns tried to tell their side of the story to voters, pollster Frank Luntz. Frank, welcome back. You did this on Sunday. Let's begin with Mitt Romney. What was the focus?
And the key here, the University of Phoenix was the sponsor because their objective is to make sure people get educated and not get on welfare. We tested both sides of this debate. Romney's attack on Mitt Romney for changing the welfare rules, and of all the welfare ads that have run so far, this one ran the best. Let's take a look.
In 1996, President Clinton and a bipartisan Congress helped end welfare as we know it by requiring work for welfare. But on July 12th, President Obama quietly announced a plan to gut welfare reform by dropping work requirements. Under Obama's plan, you wouldn't have to work and wouldn't have to train for a job. They just send you your welfare check. And welfare to work goes back to being welfare. Mitt Romney will restore the work requirement because it works.
I'm Mitt Romney, and I approve this message.
So it's a bipartisan plan that passed in 96, and that's kind of the result you got just now.
And in fact, the showing of Bill Clinton signing the welfare legislation is really powerful because it says to Obama people, even the Democrats supported it, then why is Barack Obama gutting it? And so weak Republicans, weak Democrats, everyone looks at that and says, you know what, this was wrong, and I disagree with the president on what he did.
So the president understands this is an issue. He rolls out another ad.
Exactly. In his ad, it goes right for the credibility, because he knows if that welfare continues as an issue, he's going to lose swing voters. Let's take a look.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Seen this? Mitt Romney claiming the president would end welfare's work requirements? The New York Times calls it blatantly false. The Washington Post says the Obama administration is not removing the bill's work requirements at all. In fact, Obama's getting states to move 20% more people from welfare to work. And President Clinton's reaction to the Romney ad? It's just not true. Get the facts.
So your analysis of those lines?
Is that it's equally weak, that they think that the public looks at this and says, I don't really know which side to believe, and so in this case, I'm going to believe the attack because I don't want any rules changed. It's not just getting people off welfare, it's putting people to work that is so powerful. In fact, the single greatest accomplishment that the American people gave the Republican Congress in the 1990s was that welfare reform, because they don't want people taking money from the government. They want people to have the pride of a job.
And in reality, the truth is governors want the option of weakening the work requirements, and by doing that, they are weakening the welfare reform.
I never get into the specifics because in the end, the average American the specifics. Right. I know that on this battle, on television, Mitt Romney is beating Barack Obama.
I think on some level, you just told me I'm above average, because I did get into the specifics. I'm going to review the tape.
Actually,
find out if, Frank, you just complimented
me. On certain areas, you are way above average, but I'll let the people viewing decide which areas they are.
Work the dials on that, why don't you? Frank Luntz, good to see you.
You got it, man.
And Mr. Networker. Meanwhile, coming